Hey there, Libra. Welcome to your reading for, this is going to be where you'll be 1 year from now. This is your September bonus reading, and we did this 1 year ago, so we're doing it again. But let's see what we have for you. In your current general energies, you have this Enlightenment card and this Focus card. Let's see. Before I say anything, you have the Seven of Swords, the Six of Cups, and the Ten of Wands. So I definitely feel that you need to focus on like where you are putting your energy. Ten of Wands can be a card of, wasting your energy or putting energy into things that kind of, well, I'm hearing the words like don't get you attention, So I feel for some of you, it's like, and right here you have the Strength card, which is, to me, she has her hands in the lion's mouth. And it's like no one in their right mind would stick their hands in a lion's mouth. So she is doing something that will get her attention. And, again, I believe that we're in a time of attention. And, basically with Pluto going into Aquarius officially next year, in 2024, I feel that it's a time of attention, a time to stand out or to try to stand out. You even have this peacock card. When you think about it, a peacock gets a lot of attention. So, I feel that for a lot of you, that's what this is saying. And sorry, I'm just throwing cards all over the place. What do you know? It was the sun. The sun is all about attention. And you have the Ace of Swords, so definitely some sort of victory. Everybody basically has had the tower, so, as I said last year, there are going to be plenty of tower moments, plenty of, global tower moments in the world, and, I'm sure between now and next year, you'll see plenty, so there you go. But you have the Focus card, and you also have this Enlightenment card as well. I kind of get this more, you end with this Yin energy card as well, which is kind of like a more passive energy. It's an energy of not so much trying to force things to happen. It's allowing things to happen, but that's not really what I'm getting there. It's just looking at this reading, I almost feel people are kind of showing you how to be more successful at this time, or it's like people are showing you the way to success is what I'm hearing. I don't know. We're going to have to look more into that, but you have the Seven of Swords, the Six of Cups, and the Ten of Wands. I do feel some of you do need to release something from the past, some sort of liar, cheater, stealer. This person, probably gave you a lot of strength, or going through it has provided strength, but you do have the Five of Swords there. The other thing is that this row here represents the good stuff, so, it's going to be good no matter what, but, even though you have the Five of Swords in the tower in that row. But I do feel some of you could be in a situation where you keep thinking about a liar, cheater, stealer, or something along those lines. I do feel that something needs a shakeup. I don't really feel this is good or bad. I think that, just looking at your reading, you have the King of Pentacles to the tower. The Seven of Swords, he is stealing these swords from an army in the background, and so he's going to war, but just in a different way. The King of Pentacles, card of convention, card of doing things the same way. And the tower can also say that these people who are in the tower, they've been ignoring reality. They've been doing the same thing every single day over and over and over again. That's why the tower is falling, is because they need to kind of, come back to reality. And, I always look at the tower as, some sort of shock to your reality, whatever that is. And, that's really what it represents anyway. So I feel that for some of you, where it's like maybe you've had some sort of shock to your reality. I kind of do feel good about it, though. At the same time, it is showing up in the good stuff. And you have the Six of Cups here. Six of Cups, of course, can represent innocence, nostalgia, thinking of the past, things like that. But, really, the Six of Cups can be more like childlike energy. You see, these children are protected by this guard over here, but also these castle walls. And so it kind of says that, you need to allow your inner child to come out at this time. And we also see that with the sun. The sun has that wall behind the baby, and that wall is the wall we all put up against our inner child. So, definitely a time of more playfulness. Even the polka dots in the tarot, you have polka dots on the Seven of Swords. Polka dots represent taking things too seriously, needing to have more fun. So, I feel like all this is saying it's time to be more playful. The energy I would be using is playful energy and a creative energy. You have this lizard card we'll talk about in a minute. That lizard card is a card of being noticed, getting attention, both those cards. So you have a lot of attention, like I said, but it's a card of creativity or working on something creative. You have the Ten of Wands, and again, I feel these are things that that you need to release. I think there just could be things that you're doing Especially for those of you that are struggling in work or business or career, I feel there are things that you're doing that you just don't need to do. So, obviously without knowing what you do, I can't tell you. I read for a billion of you. So it's like, I wouldn't even begin to try to guess, but, I feel for a lot of you that they're just things that you're doing that just might not be moving the needle forward. And again, so I would be looking at all your activities. I don't know, I'm getting finances mostly because the King of Pentacles here. And so I feel for a lot of you, this could be a financial thing, but let's look into it. With the Seven of Swords, you have the King of Swords. The King of Swords is about directness, being very direct, straightforward, to the point type of energy. So, I feel this is you. I actually feel pretty good about this. It's like I feel this is your energy in this reading. I feel like this is how you're showing up, having a lot of knowledge and wisdom and kind of like knowing what to do. I think the one thing you need to do, though, is make sure that you're not, not saying to yourself, I know everything. I'm not, calling you out here or anything, but, I get this feeling in this last row. I don't know why, but I get this feeling that it's almost like if you observe people, that it's going to provide you answers. I know that sounds weird, but it's like, in like work, maybe there are things you're not doing that are more efficient. Maybe if you, observe the people around you, you're going to notice like little things that they do that you could do. I don't know. It's like you're not comparing yourself. You're just, kind of filling in the gaps, right? Seeing the things you're missing. Same thing in love. It's like maybe you're saying to yourself, I've been single. Why have I been single? Why can't I find love? And it's like maybe if you make some observations of other people or something, I don't know, weird, like I said, but that's what's popping to my head. I was hearing something about like other people will show you the way or something. That's literally what I was getting on that yin energy card when it came up. So there you go. With the Six of Cups, you have the Ace of Cups. I do feel there could be a childlike connection coming in for you. Something that is not so serious. Definitely could be an Aries. You get Aries in every single reading. Leo, you have twice here. You get Leo every single reading. So, it's always a fire sign with you. It doesn't have to be a fire sign. Of course, people always leave me comments. I hate fire signs. I'm like, first off, chrisscatfood.com. You're going to be single forever if you're judging people based off their sun sign. Second, I don't know what to tell you. Take it up with God, as I always say. With the Ten of Wands, you have the Queen of Swords. See, I don't like this. I don't like King and Queen of Swords together because they are like the worst divine counterparts. So some of you could be like releasing a past person and moving on to a new person, for sure is what it looks like. Next in the area, what you don't see coming, you have this waxing moon card. It says, what do you need to release? There you go. There's definitely something that needs to be released here. I kind of cheat a little bit because Tower, Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords is a sacrifice. It's a good card, can represent a victory, but usually we have to, it's not always true, but usually we have to make some sort of sacrifice. Same thing with the Ace of Wands right above the Tower. We'll talk about it. You have this waxing crescent moon. It says, have faith in your dreams. We are in a time of dreams. That lizard spirit in this deck, by the way, that's the Wild Unknown Animal Oracle. I think that's what it's called. And that lizard spirit is about kind of like the lizard goes into like the dream world and, is able to move around in the dream world. So I feel like we are in a time of dreams. I always talk about Neptune and Pisces because it's a very dreamy energy, but, the problem is getting stuck in the fantasy. So, if you have any fantasies, and these could be love or otherwise, it could be about a certain amount of money you want, something you want to create, now would be the time to get moving. put those things into practice. You have the Strength card, the King of Pentacles, and the Emperor. The Strength card is a card of patience, but again, like I said, I was getting attention. Like I said, she is definitely doing something that is going to get her a lot of attention, which is what I feel you could be doing. You could be doing something that really makes you stand out, that really draws a lot of people into you. This could be in love or otherwise. It is interesting as well. It's almost as if this is the answer to your reading, is the Strength card, right? Because we go Ace of Wands to the Ace of Swords. So I don't know how to I don't know how to verbalize this, but sometimes I feel that there's like a certain thing in a reading that's saying like, hey, this person that you're reading for should move in this direction. So it's almost like the universe is saying like, this is the right answer. And, I feel you need to move towards enlightenment because technically we start here and you have a lot of enlightenment here. You have the Sun. Even in the Tower, it can be a shock to your reality, but, it's bringing a light bulb moment into your life. It's bringing answers, and I feel you need to really pay attention to that. You have the King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles is a card of convention. To me, he can represent doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. So, a lot of you, if you're stuck, I just feel you need to try something new. Literally, if we look right here, Ace of Wands has this castle that's crumbling. in the background. So, the Ace of Wands can just represent starting something new or moving on to something new in your life. You have the Emperor. The Emperor is saying it's like time to take action. I feel it's time to take action on this Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands is something new. It's, in with the new, out with the old type of energy, and it's something that you really desire, something very exciting that could be coming in for you. So I feel like you need to move in that direction. If there's love, I do feel it could be surprising. If there's a new person entering into your life that is an Emperor type person, again, doesn't have to be an Aries. I feel, it could be someone where there's like a lot of passion, a lot of desire. It's almost like it's something you prayed for or wished for with this Four of Swords, but it could be, there could be a lot of change that goes along with it with the Tower and the Ace of Swords. Again, the Tower's showing up in the area of the good stuff, but again, I read intuitively and I do feel, like I said, I don't think it has to be a bad thing. I actually wouldn't want to live a life without Tower moments because then you would always be the same. And so we want to have Tower moments, right? The Tower gets a bad rap for no reason. And, we want to change. We want to do these things. But it does seem to me like, again, if you meet a person, maybe you have to move or, maybe there's something you have to change, whatever. With the Strength card, you have the Death card. The Death card is a change and a transformation. So, going this way, clearly, we see a big change or transformation coming into your life. The other thing is that on a traditional Death card, there are usually two pillars from the moon that have the sun coming up between those two pillars. And you have the sun here. So, I feel like you're entering into a time of happiness and joy. With the King of Pentacles, yes, I'm telling you right now, Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords, never ending nightmare. It's like this right here has to come to an end. This direction. Very clear. Nine of Swords is like the Tower because, if you stay stuck in the Nine of Swords, you will have a Tower moment. The Nine of Swords is having a nightmare, waking up and having a nightmare. Sometimes it can represent being in a situation where it's like, you don't want to be in it, but it's just not painful enough for you to make a change, right? So it's like, I'm sure we've all stayed in relationships too long. We've all, stayed in jobs that we hated too long and all that other stuff, right? And so, I feel that that's what that Nine of Swords is talking about. With the King of Pentacles, yeah. With the Emperor, you have the Ten of Swords as well. For some of you, this could be some sort of significant establishment in your life that has come crumbling down. It's like, this reminds me of, maybe you worked for a place or a business and it's going out of business. You could also be seeing like a boss or a mentor getting fired or stepping down or, something like that. This could be going on in the world. I do believe it is going to be going on in the world. Again, pretty much everyone has had the Tower. And, like I've said a million times in the past, we're going to have a ton of Tower moments over the next 20 years. I mean, it literally, and just, Pluto is going over the cusp of Capricorn and Aquarius. Just the simple act of Pluto moving back and forth over the cusp, because it's going to retrograde over, it has, once, it's going to do it again. Just that act of going back and forth, right, is destructive. That cusp of Pluto, of Capricorn and Aquarius is kind of like this, revolutionary area of the astrology and destructive as well. So, again, it wouldn't surprise me if you saw things happening in your life. But again, there could be, this to me looks like something that's going to rock your world here. I don't think it has to be a bad thing. I think it's going to be a good thing, because in the area of the good stuff, you have this peacock and this lizard. This could, I kind of feel like saying it's your time to shine, but I feel like you have to. Like, if you see a boss getting fired, maybe you need to step up into a position, or maybe you need to ask for that position, right? So I feel it's your time to kind of really go for something and really make it happen in a lot of ways. I also feel that you need to be more creative at this time. Again, this lizard is kind of about taking your dreams but creating them in the real world. So I feel it is time for you to do that for sure. You have the Five of Swords, the Ace of Wands, and the Tower. On a very simple level, I feel like some of you, maybe you already have walked away from something because it's showing up in the good stuff. The Tower in the good stuff can be like a blessing in disguise. I personally consider the Ten of Swords to be a blessing in disguise, whether it's good or bad, doesn't matter, right? It's like you can have a good blessing in disguise where you walk away from something that isn't right for you, and then you see later that it was a blessing in disguise. You can have a bad one as well. You can have a breakup that hurts, but later on you can see that it was a blessing in disguise. So, I kind of feel that for a small percentage of you, that you've walked away from something already, and maybe over the next year, you're going to see how it was a blessing. The Five of Swords and the good stuff could also represent needing to take a risk. And it seems to me like we are in a little bit of a time, like a little bit of a risky time where we need to take risks so that we can be more successful. You have the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands, again, is out with the old and with the new. So I definitely feel there could be a new opportunities coming in for you with the Ace of Wands. I also feel that you need to follow your passions like everybody else. I feel like the universe is just begging everyone to move more towards joy, passion, enlightenment, things that they love to do, not things that they hate to do. You have the Tower. Again, it is coming up in the good stuff. On a very simple level as well, this can just be a move. So if you're moving or traveling, makes perfect sense. For some of you, again, I do feel that there's some sort of establishment in your life. An establishment is just something that has been established in your life for a long time. Could be a relationship, a business, could be somewhere you work, could be a religious belief. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be coming to an end. And again, since it's showing up in the good stuff, this would be a good thing. The other clue here is right next to it, you have the Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords has a palm frond right here. The palm frond in the tarot represents a sacrifice. So we always, the sword cuts both ways with the Ace of Swords. And so it seems to me like if you're choosing to sacrifice something, which could cause a Tower moment, that it's obviously going to lead to something good. And let's find out what. With the Five of Swords, you have the Eight of Pentacles. Yes, more money. If you're leaving a job and getting something better, obviously there would be more success. But I do feel you could be increasing your earnings, very high over the next few months even. I'm hearing months, not year. So, this could be something that you're working on right now. And you're working on this so that you can be more successful. I feel that, I try not to say things that I think are, clickbaity because, when I say these things, people are always like, well, I didn't lift a finger and nothing happened. And I'm always like, well, okay, exactly. You have to put the work in. But, it's like, I'm not trying to sound clickbaity when I say this, but I really feel that we are in a time of potential. Neptune and Pisces, Saturn and Pisces, if there was ever a time where you could do something that you really would be like, wow, I could have never imagined that I would be able to accomplish X, Y, and Z. Now is the time, but you have to get started. So you have to put the work in. But now, again, now is the time. This is why I always encourage people to do this stuff, is because it's like, if there was ever a time, it would be right now. With the Ace of Wands, here you go. Yes, Empress energy, Emperor, Empress. Some of you, this could be a good Tower moment because maybe you've been waiting for another person, like your Emperor, your Empress, take it how it resonates, to get out of a relationship, and they have. So I also have that if you're like wondering if someone is single, I feel like they are. So there you go, Libra. If you're like wondering like, oh, is this person single or whatever, I would say yes, definitely popping into my head. I feel like you've been waiting for this to come to an end. With the Tower, you have the Page of Pentacles, but very positive new beginning, something new coming in for you again. So again, I feel like the Tower is kind of like a blessing in disguise. It's coming up in the good stuff anyway. Finally, for messages from your future self, you have this Come to the Edge card and this Yin energy card. I was getting something immediately in your reading about, it's like other people are going to show you the way forward or something like that. Those were the words I was getting. And I don't really, I was kind of seeing it more as, again, not you comparing yourself to people, but I think just maybe learning from other people. It's almost like you're more in this observation mode, right? And, I feel like the Come to the Edge card to me is always a card that says go to that point where you'd normally give up on something and then go a little bit farther. But again, it's almost like other people, could be showing you some things, it's almost like giving you confidence, right? If you see someone do something, then you can do it. And I feel like that's what's going on here. I feel like there are really positive results coming in for you as well. Especially, I'm just hearing good results or something like that based off of work that you've done. You have the Four Swords, the Sun, and the Ace of Swords. I'm hearing like, don't try so hard. I feel like that's what your future self, your angels, your ancestors, your guides, it's like they're saying like, don't try to force things to happen. Maybe that's what you've been doing for a while is, really trying. And some of you might be saying that, right? It's kind of funny because I'm like having a flashback right now. It's like I used to say this to my mom all the time. I remember. It's like I used to say like, that, I used to have this attitude. It's kind of hard to describe, but I used to have this attitude, right? Which I've corrected since, but where I said like, I'm doing all this work. I should be at this level, right? I used to say to myself, because I'm doing this, I should be that, and, but really that's not how things work. and I feel like you've been saying that to yourself for a long time. Maybe you've been saying like, I do all this work, I do all these things, I'm a good person, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I'm not getting the things that I desire, but I feel like the universe is almost saying you're trying too hard. If you would just like chill out, be in this Yin energy, then you would have everything you want. There you go. You have this Sun card. Definitely a lot of happiness coming in for you. I mean, one thing I will say is that every single reading for over the next year, a lot more happiness, a lot more joy, just seems to be a better year, like between now and September of next year. So there you go. Love it. And you have the Ace of Swords, victory coming in for you. Again, I do feel like you have to cut something out. I feel like you already know what you have to cut out. I think most of you already have cut something out. And the Ace of Swords is just saying the victory is on its way. It's like you will have the thing that you want in this situation. So, you know, there you go. Let's see. With the Four of Swords, you have the Page of Swords here. See, you have your eye on someone here, or someone has their eye on you. It could be a fire sign for sure. You know, take it how it resonates. Could be an Aries, a Taurus. Could be a Leo. Could be any sign. It could be another air sign as well. But again, either you're spying or they're spying or you're both spying. I'm not sure. And I feel like, because remember I said, this person's interested. Like, I feel like either you or them is wondering if the other person is interested or if they're single. That's the question I got. And yes is the answer. With the Sun, you have the Three of Pentacles. What else was I seeing here? Three of Pentacles card of teamwork. It says teamwork makes the dream work. So anything you can do to work on a team would be a good idea. It's also a card of attention. You know, it is a card of you getting a lot of attention, which seems to be important here. You know, those people are kind of, there's the person who did the work on the Three of Pentacles, the two people who are looking at the work that he did. So it's kind of like a card of getting attention on your work. With the Ace of Swords, you have the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, definitely increasing your finances as well. I really see this as very, very good. You know, the Empress is very independent, you know, and for a very small percentage of you, if you feel like you lost your Emperor going this way, you know, I feel it would be best for you to focus on taking care of yourself, on nurturing yourself with that Empress energy, because you know, I think that you could be focused on increasing your abundance, and it looks like you are. We're going to pull 5 main themes. You have this mice card that says discord among family and friends. Neptune and Pisces. Neptune and Pisces is a direct challenge to traditional belief. And so a lot of people are dealing with this, especially as we get closer to the end of Neptune and Pisces over the next year. And then 2025, you know, it officially moves into Aries in 2026, like right at the beginning. And, you know, so a lot of people could be having issues. And I just tell people, like, don't start arguments. Don't get into fights. Just let things go because it'll clear up. You have this kangaroo. It says unsettled times need to plan ahead. We do have, you know, again, so I feel this could be more global. Like I said, there's no doubt about it. There's probably going to be crazy things going on in the world. So, you know, just prepare yourself. You have this hat card that says you will be playing a different role the whole entire reading. It says literally hat. There's a crown falling off the tower. There's a crown on top of the Ace of Swords. You know, it's like there's some sort of crown for you to receive, or you could just be stepping into this. You have this bird flying. It says news on the way. Yeah, especially if you've been waiting for news. I feel like there's kind of like news coming in for you. And finally, you have this target card. It says a goal-oriented person. I kind of feel like that's who you're becoming. The Ace of Swords is an aiming card. It's like laser-like focus. It's saying in the Nine of Pentacles, she has that falcon on her hand. She is training her focus. Seems to me like you are, you know, very focused on targets, things that you want to accomplish. I just don't try to accomplish things. And I know that might sound contradictory, right? Obviously, you're going to have to put the work in and everything, but it's like if you're trying too hard, trying to force things, it's not going to work. But if you just allow things to flow and then kind of observe other people, like I said, that's going to be very successful for you. I don't know. Weird reading. I like it, though. I like where it's going. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your year.